Hey guys, what's going on? It's Eli with Little Blue once again. And that's right, because back with another review video. And after Thor, because this is his favorite MCU film, Captain America, the First Avenger. And the last one up until the next one, which you know what that is.
Exactly. So Captain America First Avenger was exactly the way I thought it would be. Sometimes I get an image of a movie in my head, what it's going to be like, and then I'll get let down. Or I'll say, well, I still liked it, but it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. This was exactly what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
It was like a combination of Indiana Jones and a superhero movie.
Just about, yeah.
It was just like marrying them together because there were Nazis in it. It was
But a group of Nazis would then be known as Hydra.
It was a war movie. It was a superhero movie. It was everything. But the main character, Steve Rogers,
Yeah.
played by Chris
Evans.
Chris Evans.
There were three Chris's in the MCU.
Absolutely is phenomenal in this movie, and the way they did the special effects to make him look so skinny
and short
and scrawny and short, it was amazing. They actually had a body double and put his face on the body, and he was like a 110-pound weakling. So what happens is he keeps trying to get in the military, trying to join, because all of his friends, including his best friend, James Buchanan, Bucky Barnes, is getting deployed and going in the 109th to fight overseas and to fight the Germans. So he desperately wants to join and do his part to fight in the war effort.
Right.
Well, they won't take him because he's scrawny. He has all these other health issues. So finally, this doctor,
played by Stanley Tucci.
Right, who's excellent.
Dr. Abraham. Well, that's the first name we see on the tablet. But,
right, he absolutely is phenomenal in this, and he overhears a conversation between Bucky and Steve Rogers, and Steve is like, I just want to do my part. So this is enough for this doctor to select him for this program, this super soldier program. And what ends up happening to Steve is he goes in, he gets in the military, he goes through basic training, he absolutely suffers through it. He's bullied, he's picked on.
Yeah, Bucky being by his side, and
right, Bucky's not there.
Well,
he's in basic training and he's going through all this. So finally he goes, he's selected for the program, he gets the super soldier serum. And then we see this amazing transformation.
I like that right before it starts. Like, is it too late to go to the bathroom?
Yeah, exactly. So he's in this capsule.
For right now, it is.
Howard Stark is heads up the program. And
Howard, played by doesn't it show on the tablet? Yes, it does. Well, no, it does. Yeah, Dominic Cooper.
Yeah, he did a good job. Of course, they ended up with another version of
and who we do see in Iron Man 2.
Yeah, and we see in subsequent Marvel movies after that.
Yeah,
but he said
Dominic Cooper at times did reprise the role of young Stark, like most notably like in the Agent Carter series.
Right, but they transformed Steve Rogers into this super soldier, and his physique is amazing.
Yeah,
I mean, I've never seen, to me, a more perfect physique on any man in my life. I mean, he is. And he obviously worked out hard for it.
Yeah, he did.
But it was a really good movie, because what happens with Steve is he is selected because he has never known power. He's never had any power. He's always been weak. But once he gets this power, then he appreciates it and he respects it, which is exactly why he becomes Captain America.
Yeah,
and he is definitely, he was definitely the right candidate for the job.
Yes,
we see him. He's at first Tommy Lee Jones' character, the general. He does not want to use Steve Rogers because he says, you're one man. He says, I asked for an army and I got you. But he finds out that Steve is is a major asset in the war effort.
And he's invincible.
Yes, and along with the Howling Commandos, they're force to be reckoned with.
They are, yeah. And also, we're forgetting to mention, Agent Carter.
Yes, Agent Carter was
Sharon Carter.
Sharon Carter, one of the founding members of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Peggy Carter, or
Peggy Carter.
Peggy Carter, yeah.
Yeah, and of course, she and Steve eventually fall in love.
Yes.
It was a funny scene where Bucky is trying to kind of, he's flirting with her, making a pass at her,
Yeah.
and she just deflects it. She's not interested in him.
No, only interested in Steve.
Only interested in Steve.
Even when another girl hits on Steve.
Yep. And
that was funny too.
He says, it's a nightmare. He says, I'm becoming you. I'm invisible. And it was funny because Bucky is a good looking guy.
He is.
He is. But Steve.
Yeah, Steve for sure.
Yeah.
Even because I mentioned that scene where another girl hits on Steve.
Yes.
Yeah, and we see Peggy kind of jealous there, Even I think Steve a bit jealous, even mentioning to Peggy about her and Stark,
Right.
Yeah, and that scene where we see because Howard showing off Steve the shield, the early prototype of the shield.
Oh yeah.
And Peggy shoots at it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it freaks out the whole crew there.
It was brilliant. Yeah, I love
and the
it.
look on Steve and Stark's face.
Exactly.
And even say a montage and the Captain America's theme song,
Mm-hmm.
And that one scene where there are kids there and they're trying to point out to Captain America Hitler there.
Right.
And we met what's his face who played Hitler.
Yes, we did.
You have his autograph.
I did. Got his autograph.
We could go on talking about this, but I think we established it pretty well.
Yeah.
It was during when we were at some wizard kind of thing,
Wizard event down in Ironton, Ohio. Yes.
And from him and two others, him and what's his face, who's Percy in the Harry Potter films, he played, the one that we met, was Hitler, played Neville's father. James Peyton.
Yes.
Yeah, James Peyton in the Harry Potter films was Neville's father, and some actor from the Fantastic Beasts film, but that's all we're going to say. And we met him, we were talking about Marvel and such.
Oh, yeah.
And he got his autograph, as you were saying.
Mm-hmm.
And I almost forgot to mention even David Bradley, another actor from Harry Potter, appeared in the film as well.
Yes.
Earlier in the film, I should say.
Yes.
And one thing in the film is the Tesseract,
Yes, the Tesseract is in the
which
film.
would be one of the Infinity Stones.
Exactly. And Red Skull.
Played by Hugo Weaving.
Yes.
From Lord of the Rings and had voiced Megatron.
Absolutely perfect cast in that film.
Oh yeah, and had a good likeness and the makeup of Red Skull.
Yeah.
And Toby Jones,
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly,
And, he's the head of Hydra.
Yeah, a group of Nazis would turn into Hydra, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
But
Red Skull would take them.
Red Skull takes over. He basically he wants world dominance.
Exactly.
Even over Hitler.
And yes, he does.
He ends up killing some Nazi officers.
That just will not join his side, I guess.
Exactly.
Yep, and how, and I guess how they salute. Hail Hydra! Their arms in the air.
Exactly.
And even at one point, 'cause remember Bucky? He gets killed at first.
Yes.
During a train chase, I guess.
Yes, he falls off the train and falls down into a ravine.
That's the last time we see him.
That's the last time we see him in that movie. But then he does come back
in the second one
in Captain America: Winter Soldier,
which of course we'll be reviewing very soon.
Exactly.
Because I remember even near the end of the film, because I guess Steve and Peggy, they share one last kiss, and Steve getting on that jet,
Yes.
And he does defeat Red Skull. Something the Tesseract does something to him. We think he's dead, but no. I think it's obvious. Even before Infinity War, it was obvious because Red Skull was somewhere.
Right.
Because with what the Tesseract did,
mm-hmm.
and Steve he has no choice, but he in order to stop the plane and because its destination to where or him crashing the plane to the water
Yeah, it was headed for New York.
Right.
Right.
And it was on auto control and heading on a course to New York.
Right.
To destroy New York. And Steve, he had to pull it down in the water.
Right.
And that's where, he would be frozen and survive,
mm-hmm.
and he'd be rediscovered and, of course, Nick Fury making an appearance, of course.
Exactly.
And, you've been asleep, Captain, for like, I think he said 75 years.
Yes.
And the end credit scene, Captain America, Nick Fury, and how's it go again? Because it starts with, Steve Rogers. Well, you have an assignment for me?
Yeah, and he says, trying to get me back in the world. He says, nope, trying to
save it. And then the sneak peek for Avengers.
Yes.
That was awesome. That was awesome. And it wouldn't be a year, and we'd have to wait for a year later for that.
We would.
Yeah, but it was worth a wait.
It was worth a wait.
Yep, ever since the first Iron Man film and leading up to that, and, in phase 1.
Right.
And where it would continue next after the first Avengers. But overall, Captain America First Avenger being your favorite, what do we have to say? What do we have to say to wrap things up?
5 out of 5 stars.
Well, I'll give it 8 out of 10. Is that good? For me?
That's what you want to give it.
I mean, or do you want me to give it a 10 out of 10? What do you want me to do?
Well, do what you want. I'm giving it 5 out of 5.
8 out of 10 is still good.
Yeah.
So 8 out of 10, 8 out of 10 stars, and 5 out of 10, 5 out of 5 stars for him. And you guys let us know what you think of Captain America First Avenger. Leave comments and what you thought of our review, as always. And any last words?
I must be off.
He says that for me. Well, of course you'd say that. For me, we hope you enjoyed our review again of Captain America First Avenger. And until the next one we review, The Avengers. So stay tuned for that. Again, we hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you guys in the next video/review. Take care, peace out, and Avengers, assemble.